Hi, high school football fans. This is High School Football America for February the 19th, 2015. I'm Jeff Fisher, host of the show, and highschoolfootballamerica.com. Welcome to another 60 minutes of high school football sports talk here on the Artist First Radio Network tonight. Good show. A couple of new coaches to talk about their new positions in two big states, Texas and California, and that's going to be coming up in just a little bit. Want to remind everyone that the coaches job board that we started right now about 6 weeks ago is growing by leaps and bounds, getting lots of traffic. It's the place to post your staff openings, whether you're an administrator or a head coach looking to fill some positions. We have put up over 300 jobs at this point, and right now about 250 of them are still active, meaning they have not expired yet. You just go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. At the top of the page there in the navigation bar, you'll see Coach's Job Board, and it's real easy. If you want to list your opening on it, just email me at jeff@highschoolfootballamerica.com. We put everything on there that we can. We go right down into the middle school level, and heck, you start talking about some of your feeder programs there at the youth level. Happy to help you out with that as well. Just thanks to everyone that's enjoyed checking in each and every day. We appreciate that. You can follow us on Twitter at HSFB America. We always tweet out when we put up the new jobs, and it's a great way to keep up with all the news and information when the radio show isn't on, meaning the other 6 days of the week. We also have our 2-Minute Drill podcast that's growing by leaps and bounds as well, coming out each and every day. The 2-Minute Drill is something that you can get on the go, as we are free on iTunes. You can also listen to us on the website at highschoolfootballamerica.com, and you can like us on Facebook at facebook.com/High School Football America. So keep all those requests coming in. Excited for this show tonight. And before we get to that, let's talk a little bit about some news. Big news out of the state of Florida, where a couple of big-name coaches appear to be leaving big-name programs. Max Preps earlier today reporting, and actually it came out of Football Scoop first, that Chris Wenke, the head coach and director of football at IMG Academy in Bradenton, Florida, leaving the emerging Florida powerhouse to take a job with the St. Louis Rams. Again, that's coming from Football Scoop. The former Heisman Trophy winner has been instrumental in IMG's development into a high school football powerhouse in 2014, just its third varsity season. IMG posting a 10-1 record, which included a win over New Jersey Power, St. Peter's Prep, state champ there, and ended up in the High School Football America Top 25. They also picked up a win over Florida State champion Trinity Christian last year. Now, IMG does not participate in the FHSAA playoffs. On-field success and the top-notch facilities that come with IMG have attracted numerous blue-chip transfers to Bradenton this offseason, which should make them a strong team again in 2015, with a lot of those players coming in ranked in the various recruiting rankings, whether it be Rivals, Scout, or 24/7 or ESPN. And speaking of recruiting, Rivals put out its Rivals 100, followed by its Rivals 250 earlier this week. And if you want to check that out, go to highschoolfootballamerica.com to read about that. Now, we mentioned that there were a couple of changes, or are going to be a couple of changes. A report coming from the Miami Herald in Florida is that Booker T. Washington's Tim Harris Jr. may be following Dad's footsteps into the collegiate ranks. The report is that Tim Harris Jr. will sometime next week be named as the running backs coach at Florida International. That's expected to be made next week. He had taken over the program for his dad, who went on to the University of Miami after leading the program to a 96-10 record. Right now, Booker T. Washington on a 41-game win streak. They have finished in the top 5 in High School Football America's top 25 over the last couple of years. Actually, this year they finished number 6. They were number 3 in 2013. So Tim Harris Jr. took over this past season after Dad left after the 2013 season. Went a perfect 14-0 this year, winning the third straight state championship in a row for for the Tornadoes, and looks like they're going to have to find somebody else come the next week or so. And it'll be interesting to see who takes over that big program there. So there's some news for you from the state of Florida. Again, you can keep up with all the news through around the nation through our Twitter at HSFB America, or by going to highschoolfootballamerica.com each and every day. We started something new a couple of weeks ago, had a lot of fun with it yesterday, and it's called Rewind Wednesday. You can listen to past great shows, the past great High School Football America radio shows, and with the Oscars being handed out on Sunday, we thought it'd be neat to flash back 3 years ago when we spoke to the two guys that were the directors, and at that point they didn't know they were going to be Oscar winners, Dan Lindsay and T.J. Martin, the two directors on the documentary, the high school football documentary, Undefeated, joined us on the show, and we put that up there for you right on the homepage so you could listen to it. A fun interview with Dan and TJ. They blurted out, by the way, what they were going to wear on the red carpet. They weren't supposed to do that, but it was fun to do that, and I also remember TJ was so stoked when he got up on stage to accept the gold statue that he had to be, well, thank God they had a delay. He had to be bleeped for a couple of things, but he was just so pumped about Undefeated winning the Oscar. And for those of you that don't know, and it's hard to believe if you're a high school football fan that you don't know about this film, Undefeated chronicled the 2009 season and the struggles of the Manassas high school football program in Memphis, Tennessee, in a very poor part of town. Bill Courtney was the volunteer head coach there. We've had Bill on the show many, many times talking about that season and his book that he put out called Against the Grain. But during that 2009 season, they chronicled some of the players that were struggling academically, trying to get out of the impoverished area that they lived in Memphis, going on to college. And they were also trying to win their first ever playoff game since the school was founded in 1899. But again, if you want to listen to that interview with TJ and Dan after this show's over, feel free just to go to highschoolfootballamerica.com. It's down there in the news section right below all of our feature stories that we have, so you can check that out. The number 3 quarterback, we were talking about recruiting rankings coming out earlier this week. Calvary Baptist in Louisiana, their 2-time state champion quarterback Shea Patterson made his announcement that he is going to play at the University of Mississippi. Ole Miss is getting Shea Patterson. Shea had given his verbal earlier to Arizona. He decommitted last summer. He's overall number 3 ranked by Rivals.com, so you can check out that story that was on highschoolfootballamerica.com. We do it state by state, so if you have your favorite state, we break it out there on the news tab, so you can look directly at the state you're interested in, or just go to our national news stories that have all the interest around the country for you. That's all listed on highschoolfootballamerica.com. We talked about the Rivals ranking coming out, the new one, first one in 2 months. The Rivals 100. Jacob Eason, another quarterback, Lake Stevens High School in Washington, remained the number 1 overall prospect. He has verbally committed to the University of Georgia. Rivals giving 2 players their new 5-star rankings: Derek Brown, a defensive tackle from Sugar Hill High School in Georgia, and Ben Davis from Gordo High School in Alabama, moving up to 5-star players. Florida had 18 players in the Rivals 100, the most in the nation. Georgia behind Florida with 13 players, followed by California with 12, and Louisiana and Texas, both of them had 10 players each in the Rivals 100. The top 5, Jacob Eason, the quarterback from Lake Stevens in Washington, as we just said. Number 2, Marion Davidson, defensive end from Montgomery Carver High School in Alabama. Number 3, Shea Patterson, as we just mentioned, giving his verbal to Ole Miss, Calvary Baptist Academy in Louisiana. And number 4, Rashawn Gary, defensive tackle from Paramus Catholic High School in New Jersey. And the number 5 overall is Nate Craig Myers, a wide receiver from Tampa Catholic. Again, that's the new Rivals 100, and the Rivals 250 also coming out on Tuesday, and you can check all that out at highschoolfootballamerica.com. All right, time to talk about the guest on the show tonight. Both guys moving into some pressure-packed positions. First, we're going to start in a few moments with Todd Peterman, the new head coach at DeSoto in Texas. The powerful DeSoto Eagles, they are going to have a lot of talent on the field this year. They started a young team last year, climbed as high as number 5 in the High School Football America Top 25, only 2 losses, and the last loss, the third year in a row that the Eagles lost to another Eagles program, as DeSoto lost to Allen in the second round of the playoffs this past season. In 2012 and 2013, DeSoto saw its season come to a close in the state semis at the hands of Allen, and Todd Peterman is going to join us to talk about being promoted from offensive coordinator to head coach, replacing Claude Mathis. Claude was on the show back in November of 2013, did a great job of raising the Eagles program up, and Todd Peterman now has some big shoes to fill. The staff is going to stay together there. They have Tristan Wallace coming back at quarterback. He missed a lot of last year after a broken ankle, but he's back in the fold and going to be battling Jalen Nelson, the sophomore who took over for him. And you'll hear Coach Peterman talk about a lot of talent that will be on the field, and no doubt that DeSoto will be one of those teams challenging for the High School Football America Top 10 preseason ranking, with some other programs out there that have some great talent coming back, like De La Salle, like Bishop Gorman. You've got Colquitt County that's got talent coming back. There's a lot of teams that are going to be vying for that very lucrative spot in the preseason top 10. Again, our preseason top 10 is interesting. It's more opinion based upon who's coming back and what we prognosticate, if you will. But once the season gets underway, we go immediately to our algorithm, which is something that we've developed over the last couple of years, and we think it's pretty darn accurate. A lot of people liken the algorithm that we've come up with as we do our rankings, more based on what actually happens on the season with strength of schedule and all that once the season starts. So Todd Peterman coming up in just a little bit, and the second guest on the show in the second half hour is a guy that has had a lot of success here in Southern California, just up the road from us in Laguna Beach. Scott Meyer had led the Corona Del Mar program for 4 years, leading them to a Division III Bowl championship game win and an undefeated season a couple of seasons ago. They had a 30-game win streak that was snapped last year. As a matter of fact, I forgot to tell Scott when I taped the interview. I was there at the loss when they lost to Tesoro, so maybe I'm a jinx for the Sea Kings. But Scott Meyer, after those 4 years and a 50-6 record and a state championship in the fold, is moving to the very tough Trinity League. No doubt about it. The Trinity League, year in and year out, right up there with the Big North United in New Jersey as the toughest league in America. Both of those leagues are private school leagues, and Servite is the new home for Scott Meyer, and he's going to talk about taking over that program. The Friars, with a tough schedule last year, one of the toughest in the country, ended up 4-7. They had a lot of talent. They began the season preseason ranked number 22 in the High School Football America Top 25, along with a lot of other national ranking services, but struggled throughout the season. And Scott Meyer will have a lot to do to get that program to where the alums want it. A.J. Gass leaving the program after 2 years at the helm there to go up into Bakersfield and take over the program there. So we're going to talk to Scott Meyer about how hard the decision was to leave the very successful Corona Del Mar program for the high-profile program that is at Servite here in Southern California. So that's what's ahead on the show. Again, please make sure that you hit us up on Twitter here with any questions that you have. Follow us on the Coach's Job Board. Make sure you send in those job openings that you have, and we'll see if we can help you out. We've got a large readership, and I know a lot of people that have given us some jobs to post have said they got immediate responses, good immediate responses from the people that responded on our Coach's Job Board. All right, Todd Peterman, new head man, former offensive coordinator, guru, let's call him, because boy, can the Eagles put up some offense. And Todd Peterman was the man calling the shots, and he's now calling the shots for the entire program at DeSoto outside of Dallas. DeSoto football coming up next with Todd Peterman. You're listening to High School Football America on the Artist First Radio Network. Those rubber pellets from field turf, be gone. How? With the Debris Inhibitor Razur. It's a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing fields out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and out of the locker rooms. It's favorited by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have time just to tape for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in their house. The Debris Inhibitor Razur, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is made of 70% nylon and 30% spandex material, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razur, also known as the TDI Razur, covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable via screen print or embroidery, machine washable, and most important, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razur is available in black, white, and pink, 12 colors in all, and special colors may also be ordered. Sizes available: youth, that's 4 to 6. The 7 to 9, medium shoe, the large shoe at 10 to 13, and for that extra Bigfoot guy, 14 to 17 is available. This great American-made product was founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III and 3 partners at Southern Sport. They created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes and allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Go to TDI Razur, spelled RAZUR.com, to learn more, and if you use our code HSFBARZR1, you'll get a discount on your order. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger, telling you dads, whenever you sit down and share your love and your passion for the game of football with the kids, you do it over a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Well, we're going to start the show tonight in the Lone Star State program that we've talked about for the last 3 years. They've been a part of our top 25 algorithm for 3 years. Claude Mathis, the man that built the program there over the last 7 years, was on the show back in November of 2013. He's moved on to SMU, to the college ranks, and getting promoted from offensive coordinator to head coach, a guy that's been very busy, he told me, running around the community there, getting to know everybody. His name is Todd Peterman, and he's on the line right now to talk about the Todd Peterman era of the Eagles. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Hey, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
It's a pleasure to have you on here, and let's talk a little bit about offensive coordinators. While you've gotten a lot of publicity for the numbers the Eagles have put up through the years since you've been there, you've had that little notoriety, but now you're the man in charge. So how busy has it been getting to know everybody in the community there?
Well, I've been here 8 years. It's not getting to know them as much as getting reintroduced to them in this position.
That makes sense. So tell me a little bit about what's gone through your mind here in the last week or so since you got the head coaching job. Has your outlook on things changed a little bit, or are you the same guy and now it's just going to be kind of your thumbprint you're going to put on the program?
Well, I'm the same guy. It's just going to be a little different thumbprint.
All right.
You know, we're not looking to change a lot of things, and you know, our offense is going to stay the same, our defense is going to stay the same, and our staff is going to stay the same.
And that's that's a pretty good segue there for you, because I think one of the things that I read in a lot of the write-ups down in the various newspapers is the school board was very adamant about what was done or has been done over the last 7 years. Tell me a little bit about that, because I know, when people see football, they're not thinking all the time student athletes, but you guys have done a wonderful job with your kids. They've done well in college and all that. So tell me about the philosophy of DeSoto football when it comes to the true student athlete.
Well, our first thing and main thing is academics, and that's what it's been and what it's always going to be. I mean, we have a coach, Daniel Barrera. His job is academic coordinator. That's what he does. So our grades are checked every Monday of every week of the year and sent out to the coaches, on a spreadsheet, any issues. Coaches contact parents by Wednesday of each week, as well as teachers, and we get the kids in tutorials, Saturday tutorials and things. That's part of the daily routine here at DeSoto, and it's been highly effective.
Talking to Todd Peterman tonight on High School Football America, the new head coach at DeSoto High School in Texas. Only new because of the head coaching position. He's been the offensive coordinator there for, I guess he got there in 08, and you've put up some fantastic numbers, setting some state records along the way. Tell me a little bit about your philosophy and how it blends from being a highly technical, very, very good offensive coordinator into the head coach. How do you think your job's going to change over the next couple of weeks and into the 2015 season?
Well, the time off the field is definitely going to change, or what I'm doing with that time. What we're going to do here, Jeff, is promote our offensive line coach to offensive coordinator, and I'm still going to be highly involved with the offense. We have a defensive coordinator named Mark Howell. Mark's been defensive coordinator when they won state at Highland Park. That's where we got him from. He was defense coordinator at Duncanville when they won state the last time. He's defense coordinator at Denison when they won state. So he's got 3 state championship rings, and he's coached for about 35 years. So we can just wind him up, let him go. So, I'm still planning on coaching and calling the offense. We call it collectively on Friday night, me and the line coach. So we're still going to have that relationship, and it's been good. And why change it? We're not going to change. It's just my time off the field is going to be a little bit different.
Yeah, why fix something that's certainly not broken? Tell me about the fun you and the staff have had. We talked to Coach Mathis about this, a couple of years ago, but the run to the top in Texas and you guys getting to become state semifinalist 2 years running in 12 and 13, and then last year again that Allen team getting in your way and knocking you out of the playoffs, but another fine season. How much fun have you guys had during this run and building DeSoto into a team that's not only good in Texas, but has gotten a lot of national notoriety?
It's been we're extremely close staff, and we don't have a high turnover, and we're not going to have any turnover with this job. We get to bring a coach in, and but other than that, we're not changing much. In the summertime, Jeff, what's great about DeSoto, when I first got here 8 years ago, we'd have 35 to 45 kids in the summertime working out. Now we have 350.
Wow.
And these coaches, all but 2 of them, they're coming up here on their own time every day. They're not being compensated for that. So they're here for 6 weeks throughout the summer working these kids out, and they're committed to our kids.
Let's talk a little bit about the changeover here. Obviously Coach Mathis, for the time there, 7 years, has done a great job. How emotional was it to see the change at the top, and what was kind of the message that he said going away, and the one you said the first time you got in front of the team as the head coach?
Well, obviously it's an emotional deal. Claude's got a close staff. We're all close. Me and Claude are close. And the thing that didn't make it as sad is, one, we all knew at some point this was going to happen. Mm-hmm. With Claude accepting a college job. These offers came in every year for him. And at some point there was going to be one he couldn't turn down. And this was the one. So it wasn't a shock by any means to any of us. And before he hires a new coach, he would tell him, hey, there's a chance I might be in college in a year, and so guys know those expectations coming in or the possibilities coming in. The first thing I told the kids is we're just gonna keep doing what we do. We're not changing. We're always looking for ways to get better, but as far as the day to day and those types of things, we're not changing. And the staff's not changing, and they all started clapping. So we're just excited. And we get to continue to be here, and we're at one of the top programs in Texas that is a great place to be. We have a great administration here that does an exceptional job working with us and making sure we have a chance to be successful. Not every school's like that. Not every program's like that.
Well,
so we just have a good one here. So
starts at the top, that's for sure. Todd Peterman is the head coach. Is the head coach at DeSoto High School in Texas. Just getting the job last week as the new main man there, and kind of getting his feet wet as the new head coach. Obviously, a long time there. Let's talk a little bit some fun things here before we get and talk to some of the things about 2015. In the news release, they talk about you being a pole vaulter. I think in the 4 years I've done this show, I've never had a football coach who was a pole vaulter on the show, and I know you've coached been an assistant coach on the track and field. So tell me a little bit about that. Does pole vaulting come into football at all?
Oh, pole vault is really individual. It's kind of a sport within a sport. And I coached it here the whole time through. Now, I just volunteered to do it, because there's not a lot of pole vault coaches out there. So, and we had an exceptional young lady, by the way, jumps for University of Rice, great scholar athlete. I don't know. You got to be kind of crazy and have some guts to do it. And you start getting up pretty high. So, there's probably a little bit of correlation in there, but I don't know how much. I've never actually thought about that, Jeff, to be honest.
Well, quite honestly, like I said, I had never seen anybody with that on the resume, so I figured I had to ask about it to find out if there was.
It's a good question. It's a different group of kids that pole vault. Their mentality's a little bit different, and they're got to be just a little bit crazy.
I'm thinking there's a goal line offense in here somewhere down the road. It used to be Sam Bam Cunningham. Remember the guy from USC? Up and over.
USC. Played at New England Patriots. I remember him.
There you go. Well, now maybe we come up with something called the pole vault here. But anyway, let's get back to a little bit of reality here. Todd Peterman on the line at High School Football America tonight, talking about becoming the new head coach at DeSoto. He's been the offensive coordinator there, one of the great, well-respected offensive minds in the state of Texas. And again, because you have those numbers you talked about, there's a lot of talent on this team year in and year out. You have a situation there where you've got Tristan Wallace, a kid that just verbally committed to Texas Tech, and you've got young man Jalen Nelson, who was a sophomore. So you've got some talent at quarterback. But let's talk about that and then blend it into some of the other things that you're looking at, some of the kids that you're expecting to lead this program in 2015.
It's great having two quarterbacks, without a doubt. We're fired up about both of them. They're both going to compete for the job. And that's any job that we have here at DeSoto. The kids are going to compete for it. So nobody's given a job because they're returning starters or whatever else. We're going to put the kids out there that gives us the best chance to win. And quarterbacks no different when it comes to that. So we're going to stay with the fast tempo, fast as we can go offense with many multiple formations we can run without personnel in it, and get after some folks. Our defense has taken it to another level this last year that I haven't seen here in 8 years. Where they do an exceptional job, Coach Houth and his group of coaches, and so we're going to stay with that. Like I said, on both sides. So it's multiple years here. I'll be going into my 9th year next year of the kids having the same terminology, the same language throughout our system. And a lot of our little league teams and stuff use our terminology and things. So, once you get that and you get your program established, it just rolls and makes things much nicer.
No doubt about that. Todd Peterman on the line, new head football coach at DeSoto High School, moving up from the offensive coordinator position. Should mention to the people that aren't familiar with DeSoto, Tristan Wallace was your junior last year who broke his ankle, came back by the playoffs, and in the interim, Jalen Nelson did a great job as a sophomore filling in and keeping the program running smoothly. Can we get some names of some kids in there? How much talent do you have coming back on both sides of the ball that were there last year and played a lot for you?
Well, we started 5 sophomores, Jeff, this last year. A lot of people don't realize that. We had a receiver, KD Nixon. He's got multiple offers. He got offered as a freshman. He's a wide receiver / athlete, and plays a little bit on both sides of the ball when needed. In addition to, we have a running back, linebacker, Trace Siggers. He's a sophomore that started for us at outside linebacker, but he's a running back as well. Again, we had Edward Ingram, big offensive lineman, sophomore that started for us. He'll probably start out being a 4-star offensive lineman. He's over 6'3", 315, and he's just a sophomore. We have Josiah Washington, offensive lineman. He's 6'5", 285, junior. We have Hiron White, who's a sophomore, I believe, sophomore, junior. He's 6'6". He's about 290 right now. We have another sophomore that he's a little over 6'3", about 275. Center that's really talented as well. Man, that's just offensively. Defensively, goodness, we have a big nose guard coming back that he's about 6 foot, probably about 320. And just a lot of talent coming back, and these kids work real hard.
Well, I think the answer there is Coach Mathis did not leave the cupboard bare. Of course, with those numbers, you wouldn't.
No.
But I think the real saying is, with some of the size you mentioned there, you've got bears in the cupboard. It sounds like.
We do. We've got some coming. We've got some coming. We're it's a really good job, and we're thankful to be here. And these kids expect to work hard every day, and they expect us to work them hard every day. And once you get your program to that point, it's easy to be a coach. I'm not coming in here to rebuild. We're definitely reloading, and it's pretty much that way every year. So every year since I've been here, it's been that way. So, this is a great place to be, from academics to athletics. This place has a lot to offer.
Talking to Todd Peterman tonight, the new head coach at DeSoto, and we'll wrap up with this question going away. Certainly not looking to have you say X number of wins and all that, but what are some of the goals that you've kind of established for yourself and the staff and the team? Have you gone through that yet? What are you looking for in 2015?
I interviewed for the 50-minute interview. 45 minutes I spoke about academics. So that's always, in all honesty, our first goal is 100% graduation rate with 100% of kids eligible for four-year schools. Now, we're getting pretty close to that, right? We're 100% graduation rate right now, but we're 100% of our kids qualified for four-year schools is what we're looking at. Our goal always, athletically, always, is to win a state championship. That's just what it is. That's not going to change. I don't care who the head coach is here. Those are the expectations of the school, the community, the kids, and the coaching staff. So if we don't win a state championship, we feel like we haven't had a successful athletic year. Now, of course, academics is a different part of that. But our ultimate goal is to get the kids every kid into college. That's our goal. Now, we're going to get hired and fired probably here for not winning a state championship. So those are just realistic. It's the realism of being a coach here at DeSoto.
Part of being a head coach in Texas, the pressure. And I do have one other question. This is meant to be fun, but considering 2012, 13, and 14 all ended at the hands of another Eagles team, Allen, how happy are you to see Kyler Murray gone?
Oh, goodness. He's a special player. Actually, their secondary coach there and myself are from the same small town in Oklahoma.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
I had to take pictures with him for 3 years after the game, after a loss, and I'm hoping that gets switched a little bit where he's having to sit out there with me and take some pictures. So, it's a fun game. We look forward to it, and we sure hope we get to see him this year.
Well, and hopefully you'll get to be the one smiling more in the picture instead of your buddy there over the last three. Well, Todd, thank you very much. We wish you nothing but great success. And the other day when we were getting ready to tape this interview, you said, well, you got to work on your interview skills there and get to be Coach Mathis, who was always very, very good. Let me tell you, you've slid into the head coaching position well. You've done a great job in the interview, and appreciate you sharing the outlook for 2015 with our audience. And just best of luck to you, your staff, and the players in 2015. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks for having me.
You're very welcome. All right, going to take a break. When we come back, coming to Southern California, lots of pressure on the man taking over at Servite in the very tough Trinity League. Scott Meyer, when we come back, this is High School Football America. Those rubber pellets from field turf, be gone. How? With the Debris Inhibitor Razur. It's a seamless outer sock that was specifically designed to keep crumb rubber and other fine debris from artificial or grass playing fields out of an athlete's shoes and socks, thus keeping such debris out of gym bags and out of the locker rooms. It's favorited by athletes who want the look of tape, by trainers who no longer have time just to tape for show, and by moms who no longer want that crumb rubber in their house. The Debris Inhibitor Razur, spelled R-A-Z-U-R, is made of 70% nylon and 30% spandex material, making it extra lightweight and very durable, and it's backed by a 1-year performance guarantee. The Debris Inhibitor Razur, also known as the TDI Razur, covers just the right amount of a player's shoe while keeping those shoelaces tight. It's fully customizable via screen print or embroidery, machine washable, and most important, it's easy to get on and off. The Debris Inhibitor Razur is available in black, white, and pink, 12 colors in all, and special colors may also be ordered. Sizes available: youth, that's 4 to 6, the 7 to 9 medium shoe, the large shoe at 10 to 13, and for that extra Bigfoot guy, 14 to 17 is available. This great American-made product was founded in 2010 by former University of Mississippi All-SEC football player Carl Hoppy Langley III and 3 partners at Southern Sport. They created the Debris Inhibitor to improve athletic performance by protecting athletes and allowing them to look and feel better with technically advanced products engineered with superior fabric construction, patented design, and proven innovation. Go to TDI Razur, spelled RAZUR.com to learn more, and if you use our code HSFBARZR1, you'll get a discount on your order. This portion of High School Football America brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes. Tony the Tiger reminds all you dads, whenever you want to share that passion and your love for the game of football with the kids, you sit down and do it over a bowl of Frosted Flakes. Well, we go from Texas to Southern California, actually just up the road from where we do the show here in Southern California. We're going to be talking right now with Scott Meyer, who led Corona Del Mar, which is just up the road, to a lot of success over the 4 years when he was there, to a 50-6 record, a Division III title in the state of California in the Bowl Championship Series, and just last week he was named the new head coach in what we consider one of the top 2 toughest leagues in America, the Trinity League. Scott Meyer is the new head coach at Servite, and he's on the line right now to talk about some great things that he did at Corona Del Mar and the challenge ahead as the head coach of the Friars. Welcome to the show, Coach.
Thank you, Jeff, and thanks for having me this morning.
Oh, absolutely. We're excited to have you on here. And like I said, we're going to kind of talk 2 different things here, all the success you had at CDM and now what lies ahead with Servite. And maybe we'll just start with that as the first question. Obviously, a lot of success with the Sea Kings, 50-6 during that time, the state championship. What helps you make the decision to move to Servite?
You know, we did have a lot of success at CDM, a lot of great kids and coaches and the community overall. But I just felt it was the right time to make the move to Servite, and the challenge of competing in the Trinity League was really appealing to me.
Can you even put it in focus? I mean, you know, obviously living here, you know about it. I mean, Max Preps, we write about it. Just every national site talks about the Trinity League. Is there any way to kind of put into your mind what it's going to be like when you finally put on the headset this year and coach in that league?
Yeah. I grew up in Long Beach, and I still live in Long Beach. Obviously, coaching Long Beach, Orange County, been well aware of the Trinity League. But, you know, every week it's just going to be an unbelievable challenge and a battle, and the competition level is going to be amazing. So, yeah, you look at our schedule and, you know, the rest of the Trinity League teams, and every single week it's, you know, you better come and play your best.
No doubt about that. Scott Meyer on the line. He's the new head coach at Servite High School here in Southern California, part of the Trinity League, leaving Corona Del Mar. And let's take you back to a week ago. All the media out here abuzz when the Servite job opened and who would get it. Your name gets leaked out there, and now you got to go face the kids that you led to some really strong seasons at CDM. Can you take us back and the emotional moment when you had to tell the kids that you were leaving them behind?
Yeah, that's always the toughest part. Such a great group of kids there. You know, spent so much time together the last 4 years and so much success. So, you know, Friday was emotional. You know, letting them know that I had made the decision to go to Servite. I think they understood what I was leaving for, and they understood why. But it's always tough to say goodbye to a group of kids like we had at CDM.
And what were some of the things you felt that you did right there that put that program on the map to the point where, you know, in a couple of years you win a state championship? Can you kind of give a little reminiscence there about some of the things you feel you and your staff did right to get that program going the way it did? Yeah,
I was fortunate. You mentioned the staff. I had a great coaching staff, a great group of guys, you know, great coaches who all worked well together and really worked really well with our kids in the program. And I think we just always were, you know, a team first mentality. And the kids bought into that, and the coaches bought into that, and it was never about,
me. It was always about, playing for each other and playing for the team. And we had great team chemistry. And when you have that and you work hard and work together, I think you have a lot of success.
Scott Meyer on the line tonight, the former head coach now at Corona Del Mar, the new head coach at Servite High School here in Southern California in the Trinity League. He was 50-6 during his time at Corona Del Mar, and you before that you were in Long Beach, which is your alma mater. You were there. So tell us a little bit about those first two stops, and what's the thumbprint that you like to put on your program that you're going to put on Servite. Kind of fill in the blank. Scott Meyer, his team is what? What's it all about?
It's all about a team, playing together, playing hard for 48 minutes, and, winning with class. And, if there's losses that come along, losing with dignity. And I'm just playing with a lot of pride and playing for Servite and the family and the community, and just a lot of respect.
Now, one of the things you mentioned was the schedule, and we know within league play there's no breather. And I know you got a non-league game against De La Salle, which should open up somewhere in the top 5 in all the national ranking services, maybe even number 1 to a many. What's that schedule got you buzzing about, and who else is on it that's non-league at this point? Do you have it finished yet?
Yeah, we do. It's a great schedule. You mentioned De La Salle. We're at De La Salle. We also play at Bishop Gorman, Bishop Amat, Edison, and Fountain Valley. So the 5 non-league games are, it's going to be like playing in the Trinity League all year long. I think.
You don't have one cupcake on there. What do you?
Yeah, we don't. We don't. But I think that's why kids want to come to Servite. They want to play the best, and we get to travel up north to De La Salle, but such a tremendous program for such a long time, and a tradition, the history there. And Bishop Gorman out in Las Vegas, we get to travel out of state. So I think that's why, as a kid, when you're looking where you want to go to high school, it's really a tough schedule, but appealing. If you want to push yourself and see what you're all about, this is the schedule to play.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Scott Meyer on the line tonight on High School Football America, the new head coach at Servite, and with being in the Trinity League, I mean, there's no surprise here. It's just like the Big North United back in New Jersey and all that. There's resources there that a lot of public schools don't have. Is that going to be tough to get used to? That you've got a few more things at your disposal?
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're really excited to get going. It is a little different than a public school. Public schools are great, but there are some things that are a little bit different about being at a private school that I'm really excited about.
One of the things that was said about you by the athletic director at Servite is not only are you a great football coach, you're a good man, and that's very important when it comes to the overall experience at Servite. Talk a little bit about your philosophy about the student and student athlete and how it all blends together in your program.
We want our student athletes to be well-rounded, represent us on and off the field, in the classroom, and in the community. And, real fortunate at CDM 2013, we won the state championship, but we're also the CIF team academic champions with an overall GPA of 3.3. So we always talk about our guys as, being leaders on the football field, but leaders in the community. And, if you just do the right thing, good things are going to happen for you. It may not always be easy, but if you do the right thing, good things will happen.
And tell me a little bit about the transition here. Are you still at CDM, or how are you making the transition between the two schools? How's that all going to work?
Yeah, I'm going to finish my teaching contract at CDM, but I'll be able to get over Servite by midday. I've been here all this week. We're actually off at CDM. They take the whole week off for the President's holiday this week. So I've been at Servite all day this week and unpacking. Met the team, meeting the faculty and the staff on campus. So trying to get settled in and get as much done this week before I go back to CDM and teach half the day next week. But I think it'll be a good transition. It's not a bad drive from CDM, and again, I'll be over here by midday. every day moving forward.
Yeah, there's no days off for football coaches anymore. It's year round. Now you got two you got to kind of walk between. Scott Meyer is on the line here. He's the new head coach at Servite. He's been the head man at Corona Del Mar, leading them to a state championship. Began his coaching career as a head coach at Long Beach, Jordan, and now you've got not that there's not pressure at every program, but I just spoke with Todd Peterman at DeSoto in Texas, a program that 300 kids and everybody expects them to win. You're going to have the same thing there. Tell me a little bit about pressure. What are the things that you're saying? Nobody's going to put more pressure on me than me, but how do you deal with it?
Yeah, I think you just have to show up every day and, do the best job you possibly can. We want this to be the best high school football experience in the state. Of course, part of that goes with the wins and losses, but we want this to be a great experience. I think like all coaches, probably put more pressure on ourselves than we get from the outside sources. But right now, it's a honeymoon period. Everybody is super, super supportive, and we're just going to start building the best program we can.
Yeah, it's always fun there in the honeymoon stage, I guess. Scott Meyer is the new head coach at Servite High School in Southern California in the Trinity League, talking about taking over there and leaving Corona Del Mar. And as you just said, you haven't spent a whole lot of time there, and certainly a lot of talent. I'm not sure what the number was, but you were upwards of, I guess, 10 kids maybe that were at Servite that went on to Division I scholarships just a couple of weeks ago during the signing day. Do you know what the cupboard looks like as you approach 2015 yet?
Yeah, Servite does have, I think, 10 guys that are going to continue to play next year. I've spent a lot of time looking at the roster. Been in the weight room this week, watched the guys in their speed workouts. We've got some guys in some other sports. So I believe there's talent here. I like what we have on the roster, and we just need to bring these guys together and get them to play for each other, and I think we can have a successful year.
Scott Meyer on the line tonight on High School Football America, talking about the new job at Servite here in Southern California. So I know it's tough. You just got the job less than a week ago, 6 days ago. So have you drawn up any goals that are a little bit more generic at this point that you can share with us?
The 5, I guess, generic goals that we laid out as a team the other day. Well, we want to win the Trinity League. We want to win a CIF and state championship. We want to beat Mater Dei. We want to have fun, and we want to have a team GPA of 3.3 or higher. And, of course, we'll establish some more goals and individual goals with these guys as we move forward. But that's what I talked about the other day, kind of setting the tone as we move forward.
It sounds like that's a full plate right there with those 5, Scott. And last question, tell us a little bit about the building of the staff. As you said, at CDM it was important. Do you have guys coming over from Corona Del Mar with you, or what's your situation with the staff?
Yeah, it looks like I'll probably bring a few guys from CDM. I've been meeting with a lot of other coaches this week. There's a lot of interest in coaching at Servite in the Trinity League, so very confident that we'll be able to put another great staff together. Mixture of some former CDM guys, some guys that were on staff here last year. Then we'll bring in some new guys as well. So that's one of the number one priorities right now, as well as getting to know the players on the team, is getting that staff together as quickly as possible.
Yeah, I'm sure it's no shortage of people that want to go and coach in the Trinity League. I've never asked a coach this in 4 years. I'll ask you this. You've been around long enough. You're 50 years old. You started as an assistant and worked your way up. How have things changed as it relates to the profession of coaching and getting in now and working your way up? Is it any different from when you were a youngster, just saying, "Hey, I want to be in this sport"?
I think it's still pretty similar. The young coaches, as they get into coaching and they just pay their dues and keep showing up and working hard and reliable and work well with the kids, I think it's pretty similar as far as working your way into a coordinator position and eventually a head coaching position. You just got to get in there and be responsible, reliable. Work hard and be a team guy, and I think these young guys can work their way up to, head coach or coordinator or whatever position they want.
Well, Scott, we wish you nothing but success. I know I talked to a lot of our media types down here during the debate. Is he going to get the job or isn't he? And everybody to a man said that you're a top-notch coach who really cares about the kids. And I just wanted to share that with you because it's good to hear stuff like that. And we wish you nothing but success at Servite. And you're always welcome to come on the program and talk about the Friars and your kids. So best of luck in 2015.
Thank you very much, Jeff. Really appreciate you, and it was great to be on the show.
Thanks a lot. That is Scott Meyer, new head coach at Servite High School. Going to take a break, coming back to wrap things up. You're listening to High School Football America, brought to you by Kellogg's Frosted Flakes on the Artist First Radio Network.
Greetings. This is Coach Lou Holtz with a message for guys 18 to 25. No matter what team you're on, take a quick time out and play for America. How? Register with Selective Service. It's easy. Register online at www.sss.gov or at any post office. It's not an option play, guys. It's a law. And it keeps you eligible for college loans, government jobs, and job training. So take 5 for America. Register with Selective Service. It's what every young man's got to do.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's show. We want to thank our guest on the show, Todd Peterman, head coach at DeSoto, taking over the program there, and Scott Meyer, the new head coach at Servite. If you missed any of the show, make sure you check it out in our archives at artistfirst.com, artistfirst.com/JeffFisher.htm, or right on High School Football America on the website there, as we have our archives for you. All the shows since we started way back in July of 2011 under the audio tab, which is also the way you can get the 2-minute drill, the daily dose of high school football on highschoolfootballamerica.com. You can also subscribe to the 2-Minute Drill podcast on iTunes. It's right there on our homepage. All you got to do is click the button there, and you will be able to register and get that downloaded on your smartphone. We've also added the ability to sign up, get a subscription from High School Football America for free, so that when we post new stories and new jobs or anything we post on the website, that will come through to you in your email. All you have to do there on the home page is scroll down to it, and you'll find the way to subscribe to High School Football America. What you have to do is you have to give us your email address, and then everything will be delivered into your mailbox as we post them up on the website. So that makes things pretty darn easy for you. Again, the Coaches Board, 250 plus active jobs right now. We've had well over 300 posted in the 6 weeks since we started it. We expect the Coaches Board to grow into a marvelous source of information for coaches around the country. So please feel free to email me at jeff@highschoolfootballamerica.com with any staff openings you have. That goes for head coaches and or administrators. If you have a head coach opening, feel free to get us there. Hey, don't forget to read Strunky's The Turnaround, and I forgot to shout him out at the top of the show, but Jason Strunk, the head coach at Lubbock High School, dyed his hair yellow or gold. I don't know. It looked like yellow gold. I don't know what color it was. As a matter of fact, Trish Hoffman said he looked like, what's his name? Vanilla Ice, Ice Baby, that sort of thing. But Strunky is blogging during the off-season, The Turnaround. He's been writing with us since 2012. It's an incredible look inside a program that has struggled, and that's why we call it The Turnaround. Strunky has turned programs around in Pennsylvania. He turned around a program in Florida. Now he's trying to do that in Lubbock. They had not made the playoffs in 37 years before he arrived. They got it done in 2012. Last couple of years, though, kind of snake-bitten have been the Westerners, and lots of injuries, over a dozen injuries last year, and Strunky doesn't shy away from talking about the struggles. It's a great look inside his program, and it's a good teaching tool, I think, for a lot of coaches out there about what Strunky does, whether it's with nutrition. He doesn't talk a whole lot of X's and O's. It's more of a philosophy about high school football, and Strunky, a very energetic guy, and putting out the turnaround during the off season for us. So make sure you check it out. That's in right underneath the Coaches Corner tab on our navigation tab there, navigation bar at highschoolfootballamerica.com. Again, state-by-state news. All you have to do is go to the news tab. You'll see national news, state-by-state. And what state-by-state means is you can just simply click on the state that you like, and you'll see see all of the past stories there. Obviously, you can always search via the search bar to find any stories that you want. But we're excited about the growth of the website here in 2015 and moving ahead. All right. Well, that's going to do it for tonight's show. I want to thank Scott Z back in Ohio for keeping the show running smoothly as always. For now, this is Jeff Fisher saying good night and good sports from beautiful Southern California. You've been listening to High School Football America, and this is the Artist First Radio Network.